It's going to be a quick video today, guys. I wanted to take a look at the recently released patch 3 for Space Marine 2 because it adds ultra-wide support officially. If you go through the patch notes, they've added a lot of other stuff and fixed a lot of other things, but what I also noticed in the graphics menu is that they've added 2 new settings that focus more on CPU optimization. The last time I took a look at this game, the only setting that could affect CPU performance was cloth simulation. Well, it seems they've added 2 more, physics quality and background swarm size. So in the second half of this video, I wanted to compare how these settings can affect CPU performance. So yeah, let's take a look. Now let's go ahead and start with the settings here. We are using a 3440 by 1440 ultra-wide display at 100% resolution scale, native TAA with the graphical settings maxed out. And for the build itself, we're using an RTX 4090 GPU with a Ryzen 7800X3D. My system will be listed in the description, so it's a pretty high-end build. And right now I'm on the second mission, towards the second half of the second mission. So I've actually haven't had a ton of time to play the game as much as I've wanted to because I've had to check a few other games for the channel. But Space Marine 2 is an awesome game that you can come back to whenever and play it and enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun. But I end up making my way further down in this mission, and boy, was it crazy. There was so many enemies, guys, that check this out. Well, look at all these enemies on the screen, man. It was we were getting around 140 FPS back there. We've now dropped to 100 FPS, and we've actually been CPU bound throughout this entire time. But the ultra-wide patch, that was kind of the main point of this video, to check out the ultra-wide implementation. It's good. It's actually very good. I love to see it. I love playing in ultra-wide, especially for a game like this, you know, where your Marine takes like 20 to 30% of the screen sometimes. You know, any extra real estate to see is a welcome change, but it's not perfect, right? So if you're looking at the UI, it's still scaled as if this is a 16:9 aspect ratio. And I kind of wish they had went the extra mile and scaled the UI properly. So, you know, your health bar and your everything else is at the edge of the screen. So this is the type of ultra-wide implementation you normally see with mods, right? And, you know, I can't blame it because modders are not the game's own developers that have access to the code and can make all the tweaks necessary. But for an official ultra-wide implementation, I kind of wish they'd gone the extra mile, if I'm being honest, and the UI was scaled properly. But still, this is, I'll take it, absolutely. We now have ultra-wide support, which, you know, we should have had since the beginning, but I'll take it. So that is very nice. I mean, other than that, I don't see much else that has changed. I mean, the performance overall, as far as frame rate, it's smooth. There's no stutters or hitches or anything like that. But the game is still quite CPU intensive, as you can clearly see here. But anyway, what I wanted to do before we wrap up the video, it's going to be a short one, so I just wanted to check out those settings and see if they make a difference in a CPU bound scenario if we toggle them down. And yeah, let's check it out. Alright, so let's take a look at the settings here. Under miscellaneous seem to be CPU focused settings. So the physics quality one says controls physics, including behavior of physical objects, ragdoll, blah blah blah, CPU performance, but higher physics quality makes for a more realistic gaming environment. Makes sense. Then the background swarm sizes, it controls the amount of enemies spawned in the background, mostly affects CPU performance. You must restart the current mission for it to take effect. So I think this has to be purely cosmetic, because I don't think they're going to throw less enemies at you, but that's what we're going to do. Let's check it out. All right then, so for the test, on the left we have maxed out settings, and on the right we have all the CPU settings turned all the way down. Now for the test itself, because this game does not have your traditional type of saving system, you must restart a mission in order to run it again, and I've tried to run the same area again. I used the first mission in the very beginning. There is quite of an intense battle that happens, and we are CPU bound in this scenario consistently, so that's what I decided to test out. And there was actually a difference, but it wasn't huge. For example, with the maxed out settings, we ended up with 108 FPS for average FPS, and with the settings lowered all the way down, we had 112 FPS, so 4 FPS more. And for 1% lows, we had 88 FPS with the maxed out settings and 90 FPS with the lowered settings. So 2 more FPS. So it is a measurable difference, but it's nothing too crazy. Now, I don't know if maybe the differences can be more substantial if it's a weaker CPU. Maybe that's something I could potentially test in the future if you guys are interested. But in this particular case, I mean, I don't think it would be anything that I would be too concerned with. I'd probably just leave them maxed out just to have that superior cloud simulation and the bigger crowds. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if you guys are curious, I could probably make a separate video to focus on just the CPU aspect of it, and maybe test out an area that's consistently a lot more demanding, like the area we looked at in the first half of this video. That would have to take a lot more time, though, that I didn't have for this video. But yeah, this is my findings. Overall, a pretty good patch. I like the ultra-wide. That's the biggest thing that I was waiting for. So I'm glad that's in there. Even though it's not 100% perfect, it's good. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments section. I do appreciate you watching. Please give the video a like if you liked it, and consider subscribing, and let me know what you think. But I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
While they establish new defensive lines, then report back.
Yes, Lieutenant. It will not take long.